we actually have life. Freaking hell, that was a pain. I had to reinstall drivers, swap around ports, but something worked. Just adds to the freaking theme of this weekend of being sorting tech issues. Oh, I need more than just a coffee after that. Yeah. So before I went, that was pretty much my weekend. Sorting tech issues, cleaning computer, editing videos. I'm water. I'm prepared. Got me. Yeah, what else have I done? Half of it was just me trying to just sort my tech issues so I could edit my videos, because essentially it would, like, I love editing, but when it just won't work, I want to launch something at the screen, because I was like, let's just move this clip here, and then it'd be not responding. Like, my computer's got to that point. But anyway, let's get my mind off it. Let's actually get back to reclaiming some shinies. And look, we have the game working, or at least this. Depends if the game wants to work for me. I did randomly break up. Oh, I forgot live split. Oh, what was my time? I have to look up because I've got to continue the timer from last time. Let's get up the last stream while I load it up. Final render. And I still need talking. So I'm off my schedule for the second channel because I didn't upload the last stream on Saturday because I was just having that many issues. I promise I will stop complaining about them. 4:05:14. Oh, and just an update. After I got those shinies at the end of the last stream, I was like, how many can I go before it stops? I got another 2, so I've just got more shinies for that game. There's kind of a schedule. Like, now I'm on a schedule. I put them up, there's slots basically, if you imagine it that way, and I have Wednesday slots and Saturday slots. And it's usually about, I think I do them for 6. Okay, it's going to be coffee until I finish it, because I want a nice hot coffee. So yeah, I'm going to, considering I'm planning on streaming twice a week, those 2 slots are taken. So I'm probably going to get one ready tonight and just put it out tomorrow, outside the slots. What was 4:05:14, just so I can do the live split timer. Desktop, launch live split. Oh yeah, I have the JB Army, but the J isn't on. I forgot. Because the J has lights. Not very bright lights, but it has lights. So does this thing. All the bright stuff in the background. Honestly, it's a very generic mug, but I just love because it's massive. And it's not a typical like Sports Direct mug that everyone gets. Launch live split and wait half an hour for it to launch. Oh, and I have a choice. I know which one I want to go for, but I don't want to sway it. There's 2 hunts that I can do in this, which is Nidoran. They are great, by the way. Mug and noodles in them. The choices are like Nidoran or Diglett, or technically Dugtrio. Wait, do I not? I need to transfer a save over, or I just swap it to the other Switch. I was so confused why I started a fresh one. While live split's loading, I'm gonna swap the switches. This shouldn't cause an issue in theory. Pop that on there. Take this out. Live split's up. I swear we'll get to playing games at some point. And then that should pop on screen. There we go. Yes, that's Pokemon Quest. I'm doing stuff in the background for other video bits. I don't enjoy it. I think I mentioned it in another stream, but someone's going to call me out for not doing it for one of my video plans. So 4:05:15 this time it needs to go to. 4:05. Oh, not 15:14. There we go. And get rid of WinRAR so I can see chat. I think in my mind, the one I want to go with is probably because it's chronological. I've done Bronzor or slash Bronzong, which was the original shiny in Gen 4. Maybe Gen 7, no, Gen 6 and Gen 7. So I think I want to go Doug Trio because that was in X and Y, which I think is Gen 6. And I'm already in Diglett Cave because I forgot I did it last time. Let's check I've actually got everything. And also, oh, actually, I want to turn the music off because I do like the chill vibes we've got going right now. Let's go sound effect, background music, down to nothing. Yes, actually, can the sound effects go higher? Because I do want to hear the Pokemon cards. Nope. They only go up to 5. Confirm that. You got chill vibes going. I need to get rid of the camera for me. And have I also... Yeah. Let's just get it going now. I'm in game. Why not? Catch and pocket. Pokeballs 147 should do me for a bit. Literally, let's go. I'll have no catch combo, I just realised. I think I lost it at the end of the last stream anyway. Oh no. I was going to say, I lost it. I lost it on purpose because that was when we got the shiny Chansey, wasn't it? Completely forgot about that. The unintentional shiny Chansey, which is going to be an interesting one. Because, oh no, wait, I just remembered if I'm trying to go for like shinies in origin regions. Yeah, the shiny sack. I'm gonna have to get Happiny. But I can't breed in these games or get Happiny in these games. Gen 3, which is Fire Red and Leaf Green, won't have Happiny because I think it was Gen 4. And they haven't done any other remakes, so would I have to get Happiny technically from Gen 2 if I was doing it origin wise then, do you think? You can breed it in the newer games, but the origin will be from the newer games. So yeah, I'm thinking the best I can probably do is, unless the origin counts differently for Heart Gold and Soul Silver. But I don't think so. I think when you send it from those games, it just counts everything as from Johto. I'd have to try that, to be fair. That's just interesting logistically to try and work out. I'll have to break out my Heart Gold and catch 2 Pokemon, one in Johto, one in Kanto, and see if it saves it as the right origin region. Because I think they've both got breeders in both. Because technically the Chansey's fine from this game. And then I could get another one from this game if I need to. Oh, hello frame rate. Am I not clicked into you? Wasn't clicked into OBS and it didn't like it. Yeah, I could just get another Chansey from this game and evolve it and the origin would be fine. Which, if another one pops up, I'm not going to be opposed to. I'm close to the line. And it'd be another shiny short I can edit together and just add it to the list. There's about, including Bronzor, 5 that I've got to edit together, which thankfully they don't take long. And hopefully, if I'm lucky, get a 6th one. Like I was saying last stream, I wasn't expecting like shinies to come this thick and fast, but when you're focusing on it, you can actually get them pretty fast. And getting them faster than I can technically put videos out. And I might have to just do the shorts off schedule, just optimize the time for whatever day I want to put them out. Because you got to think of that algorithm, got to constantly feed it. Why am I? And I'm not doing it properly. I'm out of practice. I've done the radar hunting for too long. And I think I actually need to swap the balls. Nope, can't. I'm gonna go get some other Pokeballs. Because I need to catch more Diglett to bring the catch rate down before Pokeballs are actually feasible. Which is a bit I always forget because I get like 400 or 500 into a hunt. And then they're like, yeah, I can catch everything in a Pokeball, it's fine. And I don't want to use like raspberries and that this early. Oh, walking past a Pokemon. I'm here to buy. How many Ultra Balls can you get? I'm gonna guess around 60 should get me up to a decent catch rate. Because it's the total amount of Pokemon you've caught that count towards lowering the catch rate. And if not, wait. Will I have a load of candy on me? Can I make some profit from this? That's actually how you've got to do it. Oh, Jesus. I didn't notice that because it doesn't show up in the overlay, but Jesus, thanks. Oh, did it not? Oh, I don't think it showed right. Jesus. I mean, typical me, like, beat myself down. I don't think I deserve anything. I do this for fun. Hopefully, that puts a look into the stream that we get the shiny. It's one of the weird things is I put work into the stream because it's just something I enjoy doing graphics wise. Like, I'm actually trying to get in work some... I'm trying to get them to do some live production stuff because I just enjoy doing it. So if I can get paid for it, that'd be great. Better than just doing like some like... It kills me. The fact that if it was Facebook or Twitter posts, that'd be fine. LinkedIn, social posts and stuff. And like recruitment video stuff to bring up numbers. Oh, it's so mind-numbing. Oh my god, and again, but I am happy with how those charm emotes look. I mean, thanks again, but I am gonna like actually be proud of myself for that charm emote. Looking so good. Yeah, it's like I was saying in the last stream as well. It's like, even if this could take off full time, I still think I'd do it part time. Just to still kind of like keep enjoying it. And to be honest, the more I stream, the more ideas. Yeah, no worries. Yeah, the more I stream, the more ideas I get for more stuff I can do production wise. Which is half the fun. The more emotes I can make, because I still have too many emote slots. And I still gotta get around to making the dashboard one and a hydrate one. But the more I stream, the more stuff I can do. And it's just fun. If I can do more graphics, I'm happy. And if I can be the most part-time streamer ever, that's my goal. I think oh, I've actually got it here. Putting the part in part-time streamer. That's never gonna change. Although depending on how stuff happens, like I say, eventually, I'm still on Pokeballs, aren't I? Got distracted. God damn it. Distracted by you just being too generous. And I forgot to swap to the Ultra Balls that I bought specifically to make my life easier. Yeah, if stuff ever went full-time like it seems like it's gone full-time, that's probably going to be in perspective because I'd be working like 4 times as much. So technically it'd be part-time because the full-time would be like, instead of 40 hours a week, 100 odd hours a week. Like, to be fair, I think I want to say if I had to split my time up how I spent it like the last week, it would be obviously like 4 hours-ish streaming, then probably spend I want to say 20 odd hours editing, including like including that Diglett just disappeared right in front of me. Yeah, including sorting tech issues, probably about 20 hours. But a decent chunk of my time's actually going into YouTube at the minute as well, because I want to get this alchemy video out. Because it's coming along so well. I'm happy with how it's looking. And I'm rarely getting into the audio mixing this time, because I just kind of made stuff kind of as and when I needed for the Living Dex video. And just like, yeah, this works. And then I had some complaints, like the text appearing on screen. Some people were like, it sounds like me speakers are exploding. It's like, that was kind of the issue, but I kind of see why that doesn't sound great. So I just redid a load of sounds, made a load of them standard, made a load of graphics standard as well, tied some stuff in, so the glitch transition I've got on stream is now the same that I've got for some bits of the video, where like basically if I can't make a natural transition, like where the UI fades to white and or like dips to black or whatever, where it would naturally happen, then it'll use that glitch transition. Because it's a bit of my branding in there with like the J that comes in and the fact that it glitches. But also it's not super intrusive, because I noticed when I was editing the first video together, the which I'm not sure if you've seen it, I can probably use it now, the VHS one. That one is just kind of very abrasive. Oh, forgot to put my camera back on. Like, I basically call it like the flashbang one, which is fun every now and again, just for me to just laugh and like, haha, flashbang. But then I thought, let's go with the one that is deliberately not a flashbang and just add like a sound effect in there. Is there anything else I've done video-wise other than like sounds and transitions? Don't think so, other than like a style. I've definitely gone for a bit more of a style with these. I want to realize I'm very dark. Hey Google, turn on the studio lights. I mean, hey Google, set desk light to 50%. Better? Ish. If we do it like that, it should be better. That overpowering? A little bit. Hey Google, set desk light to 40%. Hey Google, set desk light to white. Oh no, we'll just look pale as no. Hey Google, set desk light to 3500. Better? I'm guessing at numbers now. Hey Google, set desk light to 4000. Yeah, I'll do. I'm trying to guess Kelvin numbers. Back to this. Because I can actually see myself on the screen because I've got to turn it off for me. But it helps. It makes it look better for you, but it does help if I can see the whole screen. One thing it did make me realise when I was doing all like my a kind of like tech issue resolving, was the fact that I'm really actually in the mood to build my own PC again. Because for the longest time I was just like, yeah, screw it, for all the tech issues that can pop up and like problem solving I might have to do, build my own PC, I'd just go pre-built and pay the premium. Then go and do it. I was like, you know what, I've still kind of got it, because it had been so long since I didn't even originally build that. I spec'd it out and I've done bits to it over time, but it'd been so long since I'd actually been hands-on with any of it that I just thought I'd go pre-built. But I actually priced it out on like PC Part Picker and it takes me like 500 quid, and the fact that I might need it relatively soon. I'll see how long it lasts. If I ever miss a stream because my computer's just dead, then you know I'm getting a new one relatively soon, which will also mean I can do some other stuff. Like I could actually just jump on and play some PC games with what I'm looking at speccing it out with. And hopefully one of the ones I really want to do is just like a really chill stream that I could just do in between everything else. Like do my 2 Pokemon streams of like whatever challenge I'm working on at the time, because oh hello Jancy. I realise I'm like I can't quite leave a niche of Pokemon, at least on the YouTube channel. I can have my Pokemon days for Twitch and then do all the stuff on other days, because I realise I don't really play many other games other than Pokemon at the minute. I've still got Tears of the Kingdom not finished and I really want to play it, but my own friggin' neuroses, I guess, won't let me play it, because it just says if I'm not doing something on Pokemon towards a video, or I'm not editing a video, or I'm not exercising to try and stay healthy, whatever, I shouldn't be playing games. But I do just need to do that, so I might just have the excuse of like maybe random streams through the week just playing like Zelda or something, and if I get a new computer just playing Minecraft or like any of the games that I've got on my PC that I still haven't played, because I have Steam, I have tons of games that I haven't played or finished or whatever, because you know Steam sales are great. And I need to branch out, so I might try some new games on stream as well. If you've got any like recommendations, but they won't be anytime soon for sure. And messing. And literally just one thing streaming does to me, I just end up like going back through my days and be like, well, what is it to talk about? Like, it's actually helping my memory a little bit, because I'm having to like deconstruct my days. Literally today I've had such a weird setup, because I got some editing in before stream. I actually right before stream got in like a workout, which is interesting, because I maybe went, what is it, probably a week and a half without exercising, like deliberately. Maybe went for a little run here and there just to try and squeeze something in, but going in with like, I'm gonna push myself sort of thing for exercise. And oh my god, my calves my calves were killing, and I'm deliberately avoiding. That's why I've got my drinks already. I'm deliberately trying to avoid the stairs because they were in agony. So it was trying to squeeze in my workout before stream, and then realizing how much pain I was in, trying to squeeze in a nice hot bath as well, just to soak my muscles and help them relax again. But yeah, before that I was also getting in a fair bit of editing, and I'm about probably halfway through. This is the thing that actually tied it back to the exercise. And somehow me exercising has worked its way into the alchemy video. Like, of all things, you wouldn't think someone playing Pokemon and getting all the alchemy forms, yeah, somehow me exercising's worked itself in there. But the bits you didn't see on stream took so long. And I just had my turbo controller going, so I wasn't actually doing anything. Oh, hello Doug Trio. If that shows up shiny, I'm not sure if I go for the Diglett line. Not gonna lie. Where was it going? Yeah, I just ended up doing so many other things while that was going because it was just such a slog, and so many other Pokemon are popping up now. What catch combo am I on? 18, and now they're showing up. They should have started showing up at 11. And that should have been an excellent throw. Yeah, I think for one of them, like, because it was mainly redeeming all the watts for, like, I think it was trying to get wishing pieces. I think the first time it was about an hour. And spoiler, the next time I had to do it was probably about 2.5 hours of just my controller spamming A. So I was like, what do I do? I was like, well, I guess I'll go do the washing, wash up the dishes, mop the kitchen, like random things. And I was like, well, I've done all the jobs around the house. What else do I do? And I was looking at like how much was left, trying to work out like a rough time. And avoid you. I was like, well, what's left? I was like, well, I can do some exercise, I guess. And I thought it'd just be a funny thing in the video for me to just, because in this office is not ideal to do exercise in. One, it's carpeted. Two, it is very well insulated because it's next to the bathroom, and I found out that's the only wall in the house pretty much with, at least it's filled with insulation. The others are just kind of like brick clad on the outside with a cavity that has insulation, so it holds heat like a motherfucker. Which is why I've also got my window open at the minute. So just apologies for any like planes that fly over or like dogs in the background. Because it needs it, especially coming into the summer. The winter was fine. The winter, I actually appreciated it warming up the room. Which also with my tech issues, looking at the temps in my computer, I was surprised it was actually doing that well. But because my course didn't go over, I want to say 40 odd degrees, 40, 50. Although it is one of the things that I've been sure to do is to replace thermal paste on stuff. My graphics card just generally stays quite cool because I got the triple fan. Oh, god damn it. I'm drinking my coffee, you don't have to worry. It's technically not water, but I'll hydrate me. I've got maybe a sip left. I'll hydrate myself in a bit. I'm currently in the dehydration phase of the stream. Exactly. That's what I try to say to people in work. Like when they say, oh, you just drink too much coffee during the day. I'm like, yeah, but it keeps me going. And I sort of like half proved the point. I don't know whether it's a good point to prove to them. But they were saying like, I should probably drink less coffee. So I was like, okay, let's just, out of curiosity, do a like BPM test. Which I didn't do it the most accurate way, but the fact that it's lower says more, like with the inaccuracy, because if it's way high or way low, you're looking for extremes in an inaccurate test. Because I just did the one where you hold your finger up to the camera on the phone with the light on. So they're like, you should drink less coffee, you know. So did that. Heart rate came out at around like 52, 53 resting. Because I'm just sitting in a chair all day. Just mindlessly doing stuff. That should be like peak resting heart rate. Or like, I guess not peak, dip. Because we're not looking for a peak. And that was my point that I made, and they kind of couldn't refute it. Was, if anything, me having more coffee is keeping me alive, because your heart rate should be between like 60 and 100. So keeping my heart rate up with caffeine is keeping me alive. You can't argue with that logic. You also... okay, I don't want the chance. I was surprised that there was no Diglett. Although, to be fair, given the fact that I'm working around like a load of carers, we should have also had like something to do an accurate BPM test. But I was like, no, we don't need to do that, do we? Because it is the one thing I will give myself. I have good cardio. I can go for ages on like, not technically a run because my ankle will give in, but like when I'm in the gym on like the elliptical or cross trainer or whatever you want to call it, usually my go-to is just go in there, set it high and do it for like an hour, listen to a podcast or something. So I've worked my cardio pretty well, and yes, some unhealthy habits like kick in here and there. I'm on like the health kick now of like trying to work for the unhealthy habits out. So little things like currently on like no refined sugars. I was trying to think how to word it. No refined sugars for like a month. And obviously it's not sustainable, but it's one of those of like just trying to get the cravings sort of down for that kind of thing. So it's going to be no refined sugars for a month. Unless very special occasions, I'll allow it. Because you got to be strict with yourself. And then next month's going to be like low sugar stuff. If I'm going to have it, still try and keep it to no refined sugars, but allow low sugar bits. And I think after that, it's like just try and keep the low sugar stuff anyway. It's all about training habits into yourself. Because I always think if I can go without chocolate for like, well, near enough go without chocolate, with like the exceptions I said last stream, for over a decade, thinking now I was like, I'm not 24 anymore, I'm 26. And I stopped when I was like, or made the decision when I was 14. If I can do that for this long, I can train in other healthier habits. So that if I do go like off kilter a little bit, then it's fine. My healthier habits kind of make up for it. And the fact that I just need to, after this month, because I also took a month off the like my gym membership to try and train in these habits, which is why I'm just doing home workouts. Next month, I'm going to try and bring in the gym again because I realised it was a lot. There's some stuff that I just have to do. Ooh, I'm also almost 31, which is like max shiny odds. Yeah, trying to get my diet in line with the gym again and try and get into the shape I was like over a year ago. At this point, that's actually kind of depressing. I needed to drop one and focus because that's how I did it the first time. Like I got in really good shape. Was I focused on my diet, and this was all unintentionally. I was just like, let's just keep track of what I'm eating. Now I'm trying to do it without tracking what I'm eating, so it's a bit natural. But I've also learned a lot about diets and stuff, so a lot of it's just like innately there. So I'm doing that, but just in a shorter stint to try and train in habits, and then get into aligning that with the gym next month and easing that back in, not trying to do like 7 days a week like I was. Like that's something you really got to get into the habit of. And even then, 7 days a week isn't sustainable. It's only like if you can do it, but try and keep it to like having break days. Whether it's 2 on, 1 off, 3 on, 1 off, and then 2. Depending on how you want to work it. I don't know, because it's weeks are odd numbers. I guess it'd be 3 on, 1 off, 3 on. And then it staggers itself, I guess, is the best way. Because 3 on, 1 off, 3. 3 on, 7. So it'd offset itself over time. Because technically, if you started that Monday, you then take the next Monday off. And then you take the next Tuesday. You take the next Friday off, but then the next week it'd be Tuesday and Saturday off. But yeah, goal sometime end of this year, and I think Bud might remember this. I said one of my goals is like get back in shape and get my six pack again. That's what I want to do at the end of this year, because that's still feasible. I'm not in terrible shape. I've got good cardio and the muscles still pretty much there. I just need to shred and building good habits. I did not expect to go on like a health tangent in this stream, to be honest. I was expecting to go more on like the content kind of like tangent, if anything. That's just been what's on my mind. Just trying to think, because one thing that I've been thinking of over time has been like sort of stuff like this, where there's content that I can do as stream content and then make it YouTube content. Some ideas don't work for that, like the Pokeball Plus one. That just needs me to go out in the world and just like kill time off stream, essentially. Excuse me. Then some stuff needs prep before stream to start it. Like the Pokeball Plus bit, the actual gameplay bits of the stream, because I'm going to need to play the game at some point for part of it. Could work, but it's the prep of all the walking I've got to do. And sometimes, like the bits in between, so got one Pokemon done for it. In between the first Pokemon and second Pokemon for that video, there was maybe like 10 minutes of recording. Like that seems kind of pointless for a stream. So it just kind of got me onto a tangent, and these are all pure like shower thoughts of just like me working on other stuff and be like, oh, what about this? Because I've been watching a lot of like longer form content and robbing ideas. I think one of them, similar to this, sort of. I mean, very similar to this, thinking of it, was like, how fast could I catch up shiny Pokemon in every Switch game? Which is where Quest comes in, and why I'm just like doing that daily to just like get points, because I've got an idea of how to do it. Like the only prep I need to do for those streams is just know the methods, and maybe occasionally some of those methods might need like money or items or something, but essentially they'd just be like, just like this, jump on stream, time is going, accept it'd count up. Oh no, it is counting up for this. Yeah, it would basically be this, but just every shiny would be in a different game. Because that was almost what I was hinting at with one of my community posts on YouTube. Did I put it out on Twitter? Or X, whatever we're calling it. Freaking that thing people aren't going to be using soon. When I got all the Pokemon games, was how fast can I shiny hunt a Pokemon in every game? And I was working out methods. And I'm literally, I mean every game. So I'm going to have to shiny hunt in, let's say, use this as an example. Shiny hunt in Let's Go Eevee and Let's Go Pikachu. But I don't want to double up on methods and just be like, oh, we'll just use the catch combo for 2 Pokemon. Although I'm trying to think of other shiny methods in this. I don't know, but that's kind of where the research bit comes in. Is it, oh, hello, Chansey, you're just right inside me. I'm just all up in that sack. I cringe saying it, but I couldn't not say it. Am I going to run out of laws? Oh, laws. I've got 6 marks. I might have... How many candies am I at? Because that will say if I have to leave after this. 740 on quick. We'll see. We'll see by the time these run out. I think I'll check after each law runs out. Yeah, what other methods are there for this? Because it might just be, instead of catch combo, just full odds. Which would be the most stupid one because... Oh no, laws, again, give you an extra shiny roll, so... It technically wouldn't be full odds unless I started a new game. I guess kind of full odds. It'd be shiny charm odds. But I'd just be essentially sitting there on like Charizard or Dragonite or something above a patch of grass and just waiting. It'd be the most stupid hunt because it would just be a sped up R1 waiting for a shiny to spawn. And I'm going to despawn that Chansey. Yeah, I'm curious now. And I'm going to risk breaking the chain while I'm not paying attention. That's left-handed. Oh, left-handed, excellent. Shiny hunting methods. Let's go. Because I am like 90% sure there is only this one method. We were wrong, shiny combo. How to increase it? Oh, Nidoking just hit 100 as well. Shiny charm. Catch combo, yours using layers. Block notifications from the site. Catch combos to boost. Shiny hunt with max odds. Now that you've seen the 31 combo, it's time to shiny hunt for real. If you're in a cave or surfing, just do what we already mentioned. If you're flying or hunting in the long grass. Okay, that's not great. Yeah, the one for Let's Go might just be hunt full odds ish. Hunt shiny odds. Oh, I just swapped my screen. And that's a chance as my screen came back. I accidentally swapped the input on my screen. Just to say it's not great. Dig there. What would be the other ones? Just trying to think now. I actually need to get my little Snorlax case and have a look through what games are on. So, what games are we looking at? Let's go on to being through. Mystery Dungeon's going to be an interesting one, but I think there are methods in that. Snap doesn't have them, so I wouldn't have to hunt in that. So does Pokken Tournament technically have anything close to shinies? Like, because it'd be a stupid one again. It'd just be like, oh, it's an alternate skin. Sort of thing. Sword and Shield definitely have 2 hunt methods. Because I could do, I guess, Masuda? It's whether I'd save that one for Arceus or not. They definitely have the chains. of like catch a load of Pokemon in a row. And I guess I could search for a den. That could be an option. Then BDSP could be a Masuda method. And PokeRadar. There you go. We've done that one. It'll be an absolute pain again, but I've done that one. Arceus, I'll just do outbreaks to make my life easier. Scarlet and Violet. Sandwiches and... Oh. Nope, come on. Sandwiches and what are the ways? There definitely are other ways to hunt them. I want to say outbreaks and then I could just do something different for Arceus. Like technically, I could do the Austin John method, which is different to outbreaks. Because I was thinking just flying over outbreaks. Because I've never actually successfully done the Austin John method of shiny hunting, outbreak manipulation. There are so many ways in Arceus to actually hunt it. That's why it's one of the funner versions to do it in. And yeah. So the only awkward ones are which ones I want to decide to do the Masuda method in. And I definitely don't want to do it in Scarlet and Violet because hatching my shiny Froakie took so long because I hate getting eggs in those games. There's no nice way to do it. Oh. Because you've got to stop hatching your eggs to get eggs in those games. So it just kills all momentum, where the other ones you can kind of hatch eggs and get new eggs as you go and just keep filling up your boxes, and depending on how fast the one you want to hatch is, you can load yourself with almost too many eggs. Do you remember actually hatching, I think it was I trying to do Noibat? No. Wait, what was I trying to do? It was a 3DS game, I remember that much. Was it a Noibat? Because it might have been one that I gave up on. Or was it on Switch? I think I might have been trying to get my shiny Dragapult. I think it might have been. Because I remember something about trying to mass release them. And this is my last Ultra Ball. Diglett. So hopefully the catch rate's gone down for it. Although I think I'm not on a high catch combo. Not high catch combo, high catch. It'll tell me. You know what I mean? The amount caught. We'll see. I'm over 100. I think I'm going to see what the catch rate's like with a Pokeball. I'm not going to use another one just in case. Hi, Dugtrio. Just give me a Diglett, please. No, that's a Zubat. Just show me a Diglett. I know the law's off. That's a Chansey. This is Diglett Cave, right? I want the cave's namesake to spawn, please. It should be the common spawn. Chansey again. I can see where I got the Chansey last stream. That's actually ridiculous. Diglett, please. Watch your Chansey be the next one to spawn. Oh, for God's sake. I say it as a joke. The sacks are everywhere. There we go. Oh, it's on green. Okay, so I can buy Pokeballs. I just can't get away from the sacks. They're too powerful. It's just that hint that I need to make that emote more visible. Which essentially just means I need to make that sack bigger. I guess I'm just going to catch every one of them on the way to... Where am I going? Vermilion. That's the other side of this cave. So I'm going to buy a ton more. Do I want to buy Pokeballs? Thinking about it, how many have I got? Catch a pocket. 126. I think I just want to buy more laws. Really. I heard the Diglett. I can't not catch a Diglett. Mainly because if I miss a Diglett, then the next one's just going to be higher odds. So I need to constantly catch every Diglett that I see, even if it's not in the lore, just to keep the odds down. And we're up to a catch of 56. If we're going off what the last few streams have been, I don't think I'm going to get a shiny this stream. Considering the fast method took 4 hours. 4 hours, 5 minutes. And these odds don't nearly go that low for this. Because the Pokeradar went as low as like 1 in 99. This, I think, only goes as low as 1 in 273. Or just generally, if you're on the catch combo, 1 in... No, not catch combo. I want to say shiny odds with a lore and shiny charm is 1 in 1049. So yeah, that compared to 1 in 99. Nowhere near as good. Oh, I also need to sell stuff. Let's go down and get quick candies. Yeah, 999 quick candies. We're getting to the point where candies are going to be ridiculous. And I'm actually not going to be able to sell them fast enough if I want to get decent actual encounters in. Although they will replenish me nicely. Let's go down, get some max laws. Let's buy another 30 of them. And see how far this 100 is. 180? Yeah, I think 180 Pokeballs takes us. I'm curious as to... Oh wait, I heard a Diglett. Yeah, it's back there. I'm curious as to opinions on... Because I'm technically only going for one Pokemon for the reclaim. Wait. I went into my bag on the wrong screen. Should do the other one. I'm technically only going for one Pokemon on the reclaim. So... Say, for the Bronzor that I got. Would you say stop the timer on the first Bronzor or the second? Because technically, for the, like, I could tie it into the Living Dex and go for the line. And just thinking what would make a more interesting video. Like, would you prefer it snappier or like the I hate myself thing that I seem to be going with? Which is like, oh, I tortured myself and here's how it went. Because that would be the going for the whole line sort of thing. Or at least going for everything up to it. Because technically I hunted Nidoran. But I was obviously going for Nidoking, so I'd hunt 3 of them. Which, just think about it, thank God I didn't miss a load of 3-stage shinies. Because these are only 2, so I have, like, Diglett, Dugtrio. So I only have to hunt them. Oh, my voice. Which technically, and I just realised I could, when I come to doing my shiny decks, I can hunt a Lowland Diglett in Kanto. Because technically, Would they be that's actually an interesting case. Origins wise, completely on another tangent. Origins wise, would a Alolan Diglett, because it's Diglett, be counted as Kanto? Or because it first appeared in an Alola game, like the first actual game you could get it, would it have to be gotten in Alola? That I don't know. Like it's obviously a matter of opinion, which the opinion is, do I base it off the game they first appeared in or the Pokédex number? Because they share the same Pokédex number, so technically that would mean I have to get them in Kanto. But the fact that they first, this song's really loud, the fact that they first appeared in Sun and Moon would mean that I have to hunt them in Alola. I don't know. I think it's an interesting case with the regional forms. Technically, I'm not going for all the forms for the shiny decks unless like there's just an interesting hunt or something that I can do with it, which I can see being this. Like, let's go. Just fill up boxes and then trade them all over. Which technically I could do after this. I could actually hunt the forms. Because I'd have a load of Diglett ready to trade over. Which might be interesting. I think I want to say for me, Pokédex number takes priority. So if the base form shares a Pokédex number, chancy. If it shares a Pokédex number, then I have to get it from the region that Pokédex number first appeared in. So Galarian Meowth would be... No, Galarian Meowth's an interesting one as well. Because Galarian Meowth can't be gotten outside of Galar. Like, by that I mean it can't be gotten in Kanto. It can't be traded at all. So I guess in that case it'd have to be from Galar. But if you say Grimer and Muck, they'd have to be gotten in Kanto. I love the fact that I was trying to think of examples on the first one. I was like, nah, but maybe. Oh, sorry. Actually, like kicked in immediately. The one that would kill me, thinking about forms, if I went for all the Vivillon forms, that would be ridiculous. Because I'd have to essentially start a new save for every form. And eventually I do plan on getting like different regional DSs. Which would also mean I have to get different regional game cards as well. But that's way off if I ever get to it. Like, I'd obviously just get the one from my X and Y save. Like that base, I think Forest form is a regional form for the UK. Or Forest pattern, I should say. But well before that, one of the logistical things I've been trying to work through, just to give me more options for stream, because this is what I mean. My mind's always working on like production stuff that could be fun. And I'm like, okay, what's the stuff that I can't do on stream that I might want to do? And this kind of came from Safari Week this year, is I would like to be able to like stream all the handheld console stuff. Like, just if I have an idea for it, like some of the Living Deck stuff, maybe done with it. or like some gauntlet type ideas with some of the earlier games. How would I do it? And I realized how I kind of want to do it is for Game Boy players, or like Game Boy games and the Advance and all the cartridges. I want to get a GameCube with the GBA player adapter, which I don't know if that actually does original Game Boy Color games as well, but it'd be mainly for like the Gen 3 games. And then all I'd have to do after that, GameCube games are covered obviously by the GameCube, but I've also got a Wii with the GameCube emulator built in, like one of the first generations with the portal and all that. I think it still had the emulator built in, it just didn't have the ports. But don't hold me to that, I could be completely wrong. And then for recording DS games and obviously 3DS games, I'd just get a 3DS with the capture card in. Because apparently they're now selling those again. They just stopped for a while, I think, while Nintendo was cracking down on them. A load of places just stopped selling them. But yeah, that's kind of my logistics, because then I've got what I can record wise. Maybe Game Boy Color games, but GBA games, GameCube games, Wii games, 3DS games, DS games. I don't know why I went backwards to those. And logistically, that is kind of every Pokemon game. And obviously I can do phone games, because the phone games are super easy to record. Like, don't even have to think about that. These phones have built-in screen recorders now. I had to do some janky stuff to record a phone screen years ago. Like, connect it through a cable and then have like a third-party recording software. And I was just like, yeah, record your screen as long as you want. Why was my life so hard before? Like, real first world problem, but I'm like, my life is so hard. I'm actually curious now if the GBA player covers Game Boy Color games. So that's technically, if I've got like a hack 3DS, I could also just download those versions. Because I own them. They're just not on the eShop anymore. But technically, I've already bought every version. So legally, I'd be fine. GameCube. Let's skip through this as well. Oh no, those are so itchy now. GameCube. Game Boy player. Color games, I guess. And someone's asked this exact question. Can the Game Boy play Game Boy Color games? I'm going to catch this and then find out my answer. Oh, that should have been excellent as well. The Game Boy plays an extension of games that allows one to play Game Boy Advance games as well as classic Game Boy and Game Boy Color games on a TV screen. So that is literally the best solution. Otherwise, I'd have to get 2 DS's. Like, I'd have to get an original DS with a capture card as well as a 3DS with a capture card, because of the little nubbin on 3DS cartridges means you can't put them in, obviously, original DS's, but you can put original DS games in 3DS, so it sorts my issue. And they don't make the nice, like, they don't make capture cards for a DS Lite, which is obviously the nicest solution to having an original fat DS. Because that's just not an enjoyable experience to play games. So I could play DS and 3DS games on a new 3D, probably a new 3DS XL. Could go the best if I'm going to be playing them on and recording it. Comfortability and just a nice screen. And half the reason I've been thinking about what I want to get recording wise, because also for a lot of that stuff I also can just use the Elgato to capture straight from console and just adapt like a SCART or AV cables to HDMI. Just need to make sure it's a good adapter, like a decent upscaler. But one of the reasons I've been thinking about it is because I rarely just want to play through the GameCube games. Chansey. I want to play Colosseum and Gale of Darkness because I've seen it a fair bit. Like, people doing content on it. And as much as it probably wouldn't do amazingly, unless I could think of like an interesting challenge to do, maybe it might just be like, I did a shiny lock, whatever. Some dumb challenge to go along with me just being like, I want to play these games. Yeah, that's the main reason I've been trying to think about that kind of stuff. Because technically for those, I don't need anything extra. I just need to get my Wii that's currently in my parents and SCART to HDMI adapter. Which I might actually do as like a little test, just to see what adapters I might get. Because there's also the reason I got a shelf that's off screen. I almost missed that Diglett. So I got this shelf over there. It was to put like consoles on. Just my collection of stuff, new and old. Probably mainly old because I'm planning on getting a computer, so I'm probably not going to get getting a new computer. Already got a computer, so I'm probably not going to get like a PS5 or Xbox Series. I was going to say Xbox One. No, we're past that. The name of the scheme's still terrible. Unless I rarely just have spare money at some point and there's some exclusives that I want to play. But I'm happy with a Switch at this point. And there's been rumours of a new Switch. So if anything, a new console that I'll be looking at will be whatever the Switch 2 ends up being. Or Switch Pro. But I think at this point, they're looking for a refresh. So it's not going to be a Switch Pro. It's going to be whatever the Switch 2 ends up being. Which, to be honest, this is just me being like, not a Nintendo fanboy, because a lot of the stuff they do actually pisses me off. But just being like, I want to play the stuff I'm playing now, but at a decent frame rate and in a decent resolution. Because if you ever want to see the difference in resolution, record or like... That's a good point. I've been talking a bit. Thank you for the reminder. Yeah, if you ever want to see the resolution difference, record a video or take a screenshot on your Switch in handheld and docked. But view them both on docked and you'll see the dramatic difference. My voice has just been not great for a while, to be fair, but it makes it sound a lot worse when I'm a bit parched. I'm a bit dry, a bit sandy. Which, to be fair, I think that might be the coffee wearing off. The nice warm drink that soothes the throat is wearing off. So after this, I might go make a coffee at some point. Might let it get to like half an hour on the timer. 5.5 hours. Or do I? Do I let it do that? Or do I let it get to 100? Whatever one happens first, but 100's definitely gonna happen first. Unless I get real unlucky and miss my catch combo. And I just realised that I haven't been on the creator dashboard. I've just been like had my own stream up in the background. Obviously muted. Manage stream, take me to the dashboard so I can do all the other stuff. And not just be a viewer of my own stream. And again, I don't think it counts me. And I'm clicked out, so the frame rate's gone to shit. There we go. And we're back on the dashboard. There we go. So let's see. I said 100 or half an hour. And I was half tuned out for a second. What combo are we on? 80 something. I think at this point I could probably change Chansey's easier. I forget how Chansey evolves. Chansey isn't friendship, is it? Because the whole line of like Chansey and Happiny are ones that confuse me. Because they have the oval stone. And I can't remember if it's like Happiny with the oval stone and Chansey with happiness, or like vice versa. Because I always mess them up. I can't tell you the amount of times I've been like, I'm doing a dex just to like get the shiny charm. Happiny's been part of the dex, and I've tried to evolve Happiny. It probably is, to be fair. Happiny will be the oval stone. I've been trying to evolve Happiny with happiness, and it's just been in my party for too long. And I think, yeah, sorry, more stuff's coming back to me. I was playing through Pearl and just had Happiny in the team, and it wasn't evolving for the longest time. Catcher of 85, the bite of 85, 87, whatever it is. Yeah, it was him. It must have been right up until the Elite Four or something that I finally evolved Happiny into Chansey, and then obviously into Blissey. Because it's just such an odd evolution. That they didn't need to give it a weird evolution. It could have just been, oh well, now you can breed for a Happiny, and it just evolves like the other baby ones do. Which baby Pokemon in general confuse me with their evolution, because I think they're all friendship, but they're not. Like, you have Riolu, who I'd count as a baby Pokemon, but definitely Munchlax evolves with friendship. It's mainly Gen 4 ones that evolve with friendship, because Gen 2, the ones like Magby and Elekid and Smoochum as well. Smoochum always throws me off. I always think they're friendship, but they're not. I want to say like level 18 or something. They evolve by level, just normally, because eggs were introduced in Gen 2. I can hear my voice again. Clear my throat. Yeah, eggs were introduced in Gen 2. So they didn't need to give them any special methods. Just like, oh, well, now you can get the babies and they evolve by level. Which was fine. If you introduce previous evolutions, just make it different to how you get them. And they did. So a lot of them, like, I want to say Gen 3 actually, Azurill evolves with happiness, but you also had to breed it with like a sea incense or something, which you only needed to do one of them. They only needed to introduce the fact that it's like, oh well, it couldn't breed before because of sea incense, and we just found these new incenses and these things that help it breed. But now they also had to make it a happiness evolution. Are there any other Gen 3 babies that I'm missing? Because I think it was just Azura, wasn't it? I swear, all of those ones that are that close should be excellent throws. Yeah, it is a shame. The fact that they did that kind of stuff. Which, I know that's the sort of stuff they won't go and fix now. Like, they've done stuff like Glaceon being an ice stone, which is fine, because the ice stone was introduced after that gen anyway, I think. Like, after Gen 4. But then they've retroactively made Leafeon a leaf stone evolution, which also just makes sense. Some of the area evolutions, like who was it? There's the grub one. I want to say it's grubbin, but I can't actually remember. That goes into Charjabug and then Vikavolt. They've made that evolution now a Thunderstone because they didn't constantly want to be like, this is the electric area of the map. And I want to say similar for Magnezone. Like, ones that were areas that they kept having to include in regions, they've then made into stone evolutions. Because I think that's tripped me up a couple times, getting Magnezone. Let's have a look. Magnezone. I want to say it was a Scarlet and Violet dex doing that, because obviously it's in those games. Add Electric Rock. Okay, that's not what I want. Yep, Scarlet and Violet. Magnezone is a Thunderstone. And what? Oh, someone or something I was watching. I mean, it'd still be someone. Brought up a good point. I'm trying to remember what it was, because there's a dumb evolution that they'll have to include, and it's a recent one. It was Runerigus. It's like, if they include that form back in any other game, they're gonna have to change that method, or same again, it's gonna have to be a specific spot in a game that you're just gonna have to figure out, because it's a stupid evolution method. At least Inkay, you can be like, as long as a console's got a gyroscope in it, turn it upside down, evolve it. That's perfectly fine. But having to make it take damage and then be in a certain spot to walk under and evolve it, like, they could do it similar to Basket Legion, and actually no. Oh wait, that was recoil damage. Basket Legion would still work, but there are ones that can't evolve in other games as well. Like Hisuian Quillfish will have to have its method changed, because you obviously don't have strong and agile style moves in the core games unless they for some reason decide to start implementing that. And I'm almost had a catch combo of 100. I said that had happened before half an hour. And I don't know what my point was there. I think I'm just saying words. But yeah, they really need to think about that kind of thing, because you can now have them in the core games. You can bring Hisuian forms into Scarlet and Violet, but you can't evolve them in those games. I actually want to test out if you can evolve Hisuian Basket Legion or Hisuian Basculin into Basket Legion, because it is just recoil damage. I just have to catch an extra one at some point and test it, because it'd actually be a lot easier than thinking about it, because it's without fainting, so you just give it like a focus sash and just keep going at it. Like, even if you're about to be knocked out, unless it's slower, because you could do the recoil damage, and then if you're fighting something strong, then it'd just go down to the sash and then you run. It's something I want to test off to the side now. Like, if I could get... I mean, I freaking out just about got one capture card working today, didn't I? If I could get my 2 capture cards working, like I did for the Safari, we can just have, like, one off to the side for dumb ideas I have like this. God knows I'd definitely break a chain, because I cannot split my focus that well. Chain of 98. God knows I struggle enough trying to, like... So I've also started very slowly trying to shiny hunt a starter in Gen 4. Ooh, it's gonna take a while. Because those resets are not quick. Thankfully there's the soft resets, but they are not a quick hunt. But it's also not a game that I'm rarely bothered about going through all that quickly. It's just one of those, it's like, I'd rather finish it at some point, because there's nothing I super want to hunt in there. Unless I want to go for proper shiny reclaim of Bronzong, which would essentially be the hunt I've already done in the same area, but just in like the original games and with worse odds. Because I think it was over 8,000 until Gen 5, but still got the Poke Radar. Still with the terrible chance of like breaking it. I think they don't even have 100% chance of like keeping a chain after like 4, or like after hitting a space that's 4 away. I think this next Diglett, I need to start using the ladders to despawn Pokemon. I had another Chansey spawn. I forgot where my train of thought was. Because there's no Digletts in Diglett Cave. I feel like this is false advertising. It's Chansey Cave. Like, it's actually a decent early game grinding spot. And there's 2 Digletts straight away. Oh, my catch combo is at 100. I'm only 9 minutes off. I'll let it get to past. I'll get to past, and it'll be roughly about probably hour and a half-ish streaming without the Chansey, without the tech issues and the first dud stream at the start. Annoyingly, I could have had this challenge done by now, but I've been like very stubbornly wanting to do it on stream for this challenge, just because I feel like that is also, like, I could tie that into a bit of the story of making the video eventually. And it gives me the excuse to have the timer constantly up on screen. Because like any film, TV show, whatever, people like clocks and timers and countdowns because they're stakes. Like, it spoils it when you actually realize it. It's like a trope. Like, we've only got so long to do this, which is why a lot of YouTube videos are I've only got 24 hours to catch, I don't know what's a popular one, to catch a shiny of every type. It's like they've all got timers on them, but then you've got shows like 24 was a famous one. Like, there's always some impending doom clock or something that it's counting down towards that people have to prep for. Like, I can't remember specifically what it was, but let's say it's about a wedding. It's like, the wedding's this date, and we have to make sure everything's just right for it. Or let's just say The Hangover set of films, because that reminded me of the wedding. It's like, we've got to figure out where... I know the rough premise. God, this is how great those films were. I can only remember the very rough premise of what those films were about. But they wake up after the stag do, and they have to sort some kind of issue before he can get to his wedding. Like, so the timer is, he has to be there by this time on this day. Those are stakes. That keeps people involved. The odd one is counting up, is you don't really get a lot. But it was on like the podcast I was listening to that, I think it was Ludwig describing a subathon. And there's a few people actually describing a subathon. People just came in to see that timer going up, essentially. Like, the two sort of like, the only thing with two timers, the one counting down for when the stream would end, and the one for like how long the stream had been live. That's not a Diglett, that's a Duck Trio. And people would come in for those, but mainly just to like try and obviously get the stream to go longer. People would subscribe and just push that timer up or give subs or whatever. But they also acknowledged that it was just, I mean, it was tangible numbers because they got monetary value out of it. But they were essentially vanity numbers because the people who would then resubscribe after that month, because a subathon can only go for a month before subs roll over and it resets to 0. The amount of people was like stupidly low. Or like after it, maybe a load of people did resubscribe, but the viewer numbers were way down from it because they didn't have, like I was trying to say, people are there for the clocks, whether it's the one counting up or going down for the uptime or the countdown to the end. People were there for that and not actually them, which just goes to show the power of like stakes have, which then just ties into why I think my Live Index video did well was the fact that I established stakes right off the bat. So it kept people there for the average viewer attention of 12 minutes, which is great for most videos unless they're like that, which is like an hour and 10 minutes long. Which I'm curious to see how the alchemy video is going to go. Considering at the longest, which I'm still cutting it down, like voiceover wise, that's currently at 17 minutes long. So it's actually going to be a normal length video by the time it's, well, it will be a normal length video now, just half of it will be done. Less than half of it. What am I at? 17 minutes long. Probably got about 6 minutes-ish done. I wish my style was a lot simpler. I can say that much. But yeah, I'm curious to see how well a shorter video will do. Because although YouTube does like long videos with long retention times, what's the percentage? Because I can't be bothered to work this out. Let's catch a Diglett and then look at the percentage. Or let the Diglett headbutt the ball away. If we go into Studio, Content, Live Index, Views and Analytics. So the video is an hour, 11 minutes, 56 seconds. And the average viewer attention is 12 minutes and 28 seconds. And about 17.3%, although it's actually quite a smooth retention graph. Which means people generally watched it a lot of the way through, and there was just an obvious drop off at the start, which a lot of people do anyway. I mean, I do it. I'll start watching a video and if you're like, no, this style just isn't for me, or just the person's voice or attitude in the video isn't for me, and I'll just click off. It just happens. Not everyone can gel with everyone. I can only try and be as palatable as possible. So I realised me trying to do that has also kind of rubbed off into what I like watching as well. Because I was watching someone, and in theory I should have liked the video, but there was just a little bit that, and this is me like day to day, I'm fine with having people like swear or curse or whatever. It's fine when I'm in person with someone, but when I'm watching a video, I'm like, oh, you've recorded it. Like, there's enough thinking time that they could have thought of something better to say in the middle of the video, other than like, fuck this, or this is shit, or whatever. It's like, there are more interesting ways to say that when you have time to think about it. I'm actually now putting into words what I couldn't when I was watching it. Because I can't remember who it was, and I don't really want to name names. But yeah, just a lot more swearing than I was comfortable with, because I just think it's not that I don't like it, it's the fact that I think there are better ways to phrase things that are a lot more interesting. And just generally day to day, like, swearing doesn't super feel natural to me. Mainly because as much as it has its times, but you'll notice I say the word feck a lot other than fuck, because I think it's just got a bit more character to it, and it's a bit more interesting. Everyone says fuck, a lot less people say feck. I'm not likely to say heck anytime soon, but that's just because I don't use the word hell. And I'm more, the only one I probably use the word shit a lot. But even in that's in comparison to how many other like swear words I generally use. And I just realised the times went over half an hour. I feel like I'm just pushing making this coffee off more and more. But I finished a glass of water, and then I'll go make myself a coffee. And we'll have that as a little lab break time on stream. Although it won't be ad break, it'll be hydrate break. Hydrate? No. We can't combine those two words. It just doesn't work. Yeah, swearing's, I'm just thinking through it now, it's a rarely divisive one. Which is why I kind of make the conscious decision when I'm scripting like stuff, like scripting videos. I almost stopped myself a little bit to try and be like, oh no, I don't script videos because I've only made one video and I've scripted another one. It's like, no, I've actually sort of scripted the shorts and that to make them have their own little stories, like self-contained minute-long things. 40 odd seconds they've actually ended up being, because I try and keep them as concise as possible. But it's a conscious decision to not swear in them. Even, like, it probably hinders it, but I also mark my videos as not made for kids, even though technically they are palatable for kids. Like, a kid could watch my Live Index video, probably wouldn't have the attention span to, but they theoretically could watch my Live Index video and be perfectly fine if like parents came in and were like, they wouldn't be like, whoa, what are you watching? They'd just be like, oh, why are you watching now? Like, they wouldn't have the knee-jerk reaction, they'd just be very curious why the kid was watching a Scouse lad catch Pokemon. Very curious if, because I don't know, I just have like a default thing of I will mark my videos as not made for kids, although they're fine, but it probably hurts it algorithmically. I don't know, that's something I'd have to look into. I'd more need to know like YouTube's definition of what they say stuff made for kids should be. Whether made for kids is literally just like it's made for YouTube kids. It is like just dumb Baby Shark style content. It's not thought out scripted stuff sort of thing. I mean, that's stuff that I can look up. I'm just doing this because it's not like I'm doing anything else. Unless a shiny pops up on screen at some point. Which you could do. We're in that realm. And that is the water gone. I'm going to check. Because I don't think I've refreshed the lore at any point. Which will mean... Yeah, I've been missing shiny rolls. Cool. I am gonna very quickly go go make myself a coffee and did you just hear the bang go off? Because I'm hoping that was a firework. That was a loud bang that sounded like it was from far away. But yeah, anyway, I'm gonna go get myself a coffee. So should you. And I'm gonna run a quick ad while I go. So, catch us in a minute. Oh my god. Even just... Wait, close it up. Even just walking up the stairs, I can feel my legs. They are in agony. I might actually need another soak after stream. And yes, I'll have the time going. Because, you know, it's all time I'm taking out of the challenge. But sweet. We're back. Get rid of that. And I have my cafes. Which you can probably guess is foreign for coffee. Specifically Greek. One of the few words I have to learn. Because I need me some coffee when I'm on holiday. Chanty. Like, there are words that I know for when I want something. So, quick Greek lessons with me. This is gonna get questionable. Like, thelis is do you want? Thelo is I want. So, already there, you've got some good phrases that you need to know. And I'm on 50 Pokeballs. So, thelis and thelo. Thelo is the important one because that's I want. And 3 words I know is thelo cafes. So, I want coffee. Thelo bagodo, which is I want ice cream. And thelo karpuzi, which is I want watermelon. And the one that doesn't change from like English to Greek is thelo halloumi. Or thelo halloumi, which is just obviously I want halloumi. The important things in life. I mean, there's also thelo nero, which is like I want water, but if I get to that point, it's more like I need water, but I don't know what I need is. Unless I'm just screaming at someone and then they go, oh, it's probably a bit more than one, but he doesn't know how to express it. Just run up to someone and be like, thelo nero! Like, oh shit, get this guy some water. Or they just then ask the, which if I get to that point, I'm saying it in English unless they don't get it the first time, because then I'd probably get asked tap or bottle, but in a language that I don't understand. Yeah, that was your short Greek lesson with me. I know some other stuff, but they're not enough to string any other form of sentence together. Like small little stupid words like me is with. I really need to get on Greek lessons. Partially because it'd be nice to talk to my family in Greek, but also because I could talk to other Greek people in a secret way. Because I've had Greek friends from uni. I actually had one friend from uni who we were purely just friends because he just looked at my name and went, "You're Greek, aren't you?" I was like, "What? Well, yeah." What gave it away? Was it my second name being Panayi? Which, if you were curious, that's where the username came from. Panayi, but how I say my name is like Panay. Jordan Panay. From being pedantic, I will say to people it is Panayi, just to sound a bit more foreign and exotic. Doesn't help as much with girls as you'd think. Weirdly enough, they want a pronounceable second name if they ever get married. Who knew? I mean, I don't blame them. I'd love it if I didn't have to like spell out my second name every time I needed to like get a delivery or sign up for something, or I don't know, apply for a passport. Who knows? The stuff that you generally need to like give people your second name for. It's so stupid thinking about it now, because when I was younger I was trying to think of, because I grew up like when YouTubers were taking off. Before it's like monetized, it's like, ooh, being young and fame's interesting. It's like, can I do that? It's like, I need a good username and handle to have on like everything. And I came up with so many other things, and it was only like, I want to say around college age-ish, like start of university. I was like, why don't I just spell my second name phonetically and just see if I can get that on stuff? And turns out, yeah. Spell my second name phonetically, and it is available on a few platforms because it's a pan and an I. A random couple things to throw together, and the only things that are generally like shown in search are, and I don't want to be judgy, but I am also a musician, a not very good musician. At least he's not to my taste. I'll say that. I'll give him his due. He may just not be my taste. And Panhandle group or Panhandle I group or something pop up in searches. It's really interesting just to know who comes up when I type in my username. They're like, oh, there's not much competition. Although for the longest time, the musician had a YouTube channel that was bigger than mine. I was like, oh, that's kind of frustrating because I didn't super like him. Partially because he did very aggressively come at me and be like, give me the YouTube channel, it's my name, blah, blah. I can't actually remember what it was. It's in an email from ages ago. So just kind of like not like them from them, but I'm also like, people grow. This was years ago. And if I go to look through it, I'm probably not going to find it. If I go through my emails, because obviously since YouTube's kind of like went off, I've had a lot more emails with the username in. Oh, and it won't be that one. It'll be, because I have 3 emails and one of them is a generic contact, which I think is still actually on. It might still be on the channel page. .gu and E. Yeah, there's so much stuff. Anyway, he clearly didn't have his own email with his name in. I'm just so curious to go back and see what he said. Video accounts, Twitter, God damn it, it was a while ago, wasn't it? Oh my god, this is how long I've had. Welcome to the Discord Alpha Preview. That's how long ago I signed up for Discord. That's quite funny, to be fair. I was on Discord really early and then just didn't really use it. NCSoft 2-step Twitter. Oh my god, the amount of crap that I just didn't delete for the longest time. And some of these names in Twitter that I haven't seen for the longest time. Because I'm just like following different circles. Would it have been? Or would it have been on Instagram? Top stream content of me just going through emails. Would he have been smart enough to have actually went through... Oh my god, that's a name I haven't seen in years. Sorry, I just found an email from someone. Like I said, I made YouTube videos years ago, completely different content. It was like, oh, let's do Minecraft Let's Plays, whatever. It's in 2015. That's the last time I talked to this guy, but he was like just interested in like the content I was making, and we just started talking. And I want to say he was American or something, so it was really weird to try and get like a conversation going. But my god, that's just a blast from the past. And did I restore this account from a deleted email? I think I did. Okay, I'm gonna go back and see if it was on Instagram instead. Mention me in the story. Lads chat. No, was it Twitter? It could have been Twitter. Or again, sorry, X. Is it in my DMs? Nah, if it is, I've lost it. But I just remember him very aggressively being like, give me my name sort of thing. Could have even been like YouTube messages, which are long gone at this point. YouTube messages long gone with open dislikes, friends lists. It was just amazing to go back and see, like, who did people have as friends on YouTube? Like what people would usually use featured channels as now. What other features did we lose? Reply videos. Which are fair enough, but you should have just been able to filter them. You should have essentially went into like a holding section. Kind of like where comments now are held for review. Which was what? There's been one comment I think I've had held for review because it was like, oh, potentially offensive. I was like, that's fine, push it through. Like, wasn't offensive in the slightest. I think it was someone like correcting the video, and they're like, nope. But I was like, no, it's fair, they corrected it. like they're right. But the one that they didn't block for, I think it was one of the stream VODs, it just said like, and this is a weird one, I don't know how it works, it just said promo-SM, which is apparently a spam thing. But Googling it, loads of people knew, but it isn't in any of YouTube's spam filters, so it was just there. And I don't like deleting comments unless they're either really nonsensical, like I can't reply to them, or people won't understand them, or they're clearly spam. Because there was that promo SM one, whatever it was, that I left there for a while until I googled it. I was like, oh, it's spam, delete. And there was one I want to say on, it was either the Start and the Living Deck short or the Mankey one. God, I'm more parched after I've had drinks, apparently. Come on, Digger, do something so I can get my train of thought. Here we go, take a drink. Yeah, it was on one of those two shorts, and it was just a comment of, I am. Never edited. Like, my assumption was they just got halfway through and hit enter, but never edited, never deleted. I was like, I don't know how to react to this. Because it wasn't even like on my Gimme Ghoul short where it's like, I'm giving away shiny Gimme Ghoul, look for this code. And it wasn't even like a I am as if like I want it. It was just I am on a very different shot. Which, speaking of giveaways, this is something I was thinking of. Because if I phase on stuff where, like, obviously not like catch combos, I probably wouldn't unless it's a Pokemon I need. But if I phase with Pokemon that I've already got for the Living Dex, I need to figure out a way, because I feel like it'd be a good, as much as I don't want the channel to be like built off giveaways and people getting like shiny Pokemon, I feel like it'd just be a nice thing as like give back to people if I get spare shinies. So say like if I get, say like with the PokeRadar stuff, if I get the full line and then just kind of keep going for a little bit and get spares to give away, I need to figure out a good way to do it. Mainly because I thought I figured out a good way of like just putting them up on like Scarlet and Violet with a link code. It basically locked my Switch out until someone took it. And yes, I could do it on the spare Switch, but it also means I've got to keep the battery charged and then update comments of like, this trade's live now, use this code, and then I'm currently offline because, you know, sleeping. Which I think I actually missed a trade once for it. I woke up, it was in the trade screen, but I was like that half asleep kind of like haze. Because I think I woke up because the sound changed like subconsciously. Because I just kind of left it on the side while I was in bed watching something and just kind of dozed off. And I actually backed out of the screen and I was like in hindsight, that could have been someone that wanted the shiny. And while I left it open, they put it in. So someone who watched a short could have got it, but I think they missed it. It felt a little bit bad, but then I was also like, I probably should have took that offline. Well, I knew I was like, because I was lying in bed at this point, just watching TV. I was like, I should have knew I would have been falling asleep. Because you always know, as soon as you're about to lie down, you're like, I'm just doing this to get comfy and watch something. Versus, I'm doing this because I'm actually tired. Because if I do it on the couch, the moment I lie down on the couch, I'm going to sleep. It's just, it happens. Whether I like it or not, eventually at some point, I will fall asleep. I need to be sitting up. If I'm in bed, lying down, I'm gonna fall asleep. If I'm in the cinemas, and the seat's a bit too far reclined, and the movie is not particularly great, cinema I'm better with it. But if the movie's not particularly great, I will start to fall asleep. I'm better with it nowadays because the last time that happened, and I was like nodding off, it had been a long day, and I was also like very much in my fitness like cutting phase, so I wasn't working off too many calories either that day. The only time I was like that bad sort of like calories wise in a day was, and I was pestering people so long, I was like, we just need to go grab something to eat. I was out for like a birthday party and I wouldn't mind, it was like my boss's birthday and we're just particularly close. I was like, hey, yeah, do you want to come out like with all us, like family, friends, we're gonna meet up, go for a few drinks. I was like, yeah, sounds sick. But for lunch that day, I was like, I'm still trying to be like healthy-ish, keep to like certain macros, whatever. And that's why I kind of can't stand macros, because you're so limited on options. Like if it's a bad option versus something outside your macros, you'll probably go for the bad option. That's why I just can't stand keeping to them. Calorie count I can kind of do. So I went with the bad option, which was like, I want to say it was some kind of terrible pasta, like tomato feta pasta salad crap that I physically just couldn't stomach. It was cold, like at least if the pasta was warm it would have been fine, but the pasta was cold and it was just overdone and it was mush and I physically just couldn't eat it. It would have needed to be drowned in salt to have some form of flavour, because half of the flavour was just tomato juice, put the watery stuff from the inside of the tomato. Thankfully, they got a better pasta bar at the end. Like before I left that place. I say left. Got let go. Got let go with basically a month's pay. Or like 2 weeks, but the way I cross over, basically I had like a month's pay. Between that and my next job. Or did I have like a month's garden? I think I might have had like a month's garden leave thinking about it. But yeah. So, that night out, anyway, back to the story. I'd had that, it was terrible, so I'd had like half of a terrible pasta salad. Nothing to work on, and if you're going out for a drink, obviously, you know, you've got to have something in your stomach, so there was just an empty pit of a stomach. Like, nothing in there. Alcohol hits. I'm like, okay, this buzz has hit early. But then I just get bored shots and drinks. And I'm just like mindlessly doing it. Keeping in mind, I'm also walking around like my boss's apartment, just being like, what food is there? Hey, cheers for the follow. I want to say soul. I was distracted by my animation not working perfectly. I need to look at those. But yeah, I swear I have ADHD. Hey, geez, I hope you enjoy whatever this is. My stories of not eating before a night out. So yeah, I'm just scavenging around my boss's apartment, and I'm in his fridge. I'm like, oh, this looks nice. What's this? And he's like, oh, try it. So like, I've already got the excuse in there. It's like, oh yeah, I'll try some. And then it was like leftovers from the day before. Maybe a handful of potatoes. Freaking good potatoes for leftovers. But a handful of potatoes before even more drinking. And we're talking, we hadn't left the apartment at this point. It's all just pre-drinks. So I'm already very heavily buzzed off pre-drinks. Oh yeah, the level 100s are coming thick and fast because I've been shiny hunting in this game a fair bit. And also evolving. Just sadly, it's not a shiny, but the shiny will come soon. I've got shiny Bulbasaur, and I can't remember. Oh, Dex-wise, I want to say Charmander comes before Squirtle. So I think that might actually be my next one. But looping back. Yeah, very heavily buzzed. Had a little bit to eat, but I was like, oh, we just need to find like a kebab place or something. And everyone's like, oh yeah, sounds good. 2 clubs later. Nah, I'm good, to be honest. I've already got my shiny Pidgey line as part of my shiny decks. I phased on a Pidgey and ended up getting the 2 Pidgey. 2 extra Pidgey at some point just to finish off the line. Level 100s I'm not too bothered about. It's mainly the shinies that I'm bothered about, and I want to hunt them. But if I ever get any spare and you need them, then feel free to let me know. So yeah, back again. Very annoyed at everyone I was out with because they're all up for going grabbing food and that because they haven't eaten much, but they were also working off better stores than I was because I think at this point I was at like single digits of like body fat percentage. So they could last a bit longer on what they'd eaten. They'd also had like a proper lunch. They were smart, and instead of getting like a terrible like pasta salad or something, they got pizza and stuff that could line the stomach. Oh, nice. I'm curious to do a Professor Oak's challenge. Like, I've watched so many videos. I have got my spare, I say my spare copy, my copy of Diamond that hasn't got a save on it. So I might actually do that. Like, I'll do it as kind of, actually that'd be interesting to go through and do a Professor Oak's challenge mixed with a bit of like a shiny badge quest sort of thing. Like, I'll get ones for my team that are shiny, but before I'm allowed to go for the next badge, I'll need to do like the Professor Oak's challenge thing. Like mix the two. Oh, I can imagine. The logistics of it must be hell. But that's kind of my jam. I love... Think about how I wear this. I love doing hard challenges. Rarely dodged the bullet on that one for out of context clips. Yeah, that might actually be interesting. It's not something that I'm gonna like record for a video or anything, or like stream. Mainly because I can't record or stream DS stuff. So just for me, but yeah. Cheers to the idea, because otherwise I'm just currently hunting. I was gonna do it kind of like a shiny badge quest, but I like the idea of including a Professor Oak's challenge in it. Because I'm trying to get my shiny started the minute that's house. Like at the start of it, I am. I'm just stood outside Lake Verity with Barry trying to get a shiny Chimchar. Because I'm probably going to do so many quests in one. Mainly because it just kind of gives a bit of a goal. Oh god, yeah. It sounds like I had a stream the other day, which Ray can vouch for this, where I spent so long just trying to evolve a Mankey because I hadn't got to the end of the game yet, and it took literally like 2 hours to get Mankey into Primeape. And then, what was it? I think... What ones was I evolving? I was chaining Chansey for some reason. Evolving some. It was probably like Butterfree or like all those ones, like the early deck stuff. Because I'd finished the game at that point, I just went to Cerulean Cave and evolved them really quickly. Because they're like around level 40s, 50s. It's ridiculous how slow level, and particularly in this game is, because you can't like shove XP charms or anything on them, and I'm running really low on Pokeballs. I need to go buy some more. Literally 3. Excellent though. Yeah, leveling in this game is annoying, and it was so jarring because I've been hunting in different games to come over to Let's Go and start hunting and leveling up, particularly the leveling bit. I was like, I'm just gonna grind out some levels when you can't battle. And you just have to catch. Question is, OG Red on cartridge or OG Red virtual console? Because if you're doing it like OG on cartridge, then respect you, because you've done something that I'm too lazy to do, which is swap the save battery. I mean, yeah. Well done to you there. You done the extra step. Because I've actually at this point lost... Wait. I need to do that. Oh wow. Wow, I've been getting a lot. I've lost my saves pretty much. I think I've still got my yellow because I haven't got rid of the save battery, although it's probably just deleted itself anyway. I've definitely lost my gold save, because that was one I played more recently, and I managed to get through a playthrough before it actually killed the save battery. And I think I can only get through... I think I tested it, got through like 3 badges, fully evolved my... I think it was Totodile at the time, and then lost the save data. Thankfully it wasn't like a childhood save, because when I was younger I did not get second gen games. I'd only like borrowed friends' versions when they weren't super bothered about having their own like save on it. So like, yeah, you can reset and just play through whatever. I don't mind. And then, yeah, the only other one, which thankfully it isn't a save battery, is Emerald, which I need to swap. So I need to get 3 of those little like whatever batteries they are that go inside the actual cartridges, and just resolder those on. And it gives me an excuse to actually get a soldering iron. Because the last thing I soldered together was actually a pedal board. I soldered a load of wires together. But that was back when I was in my mum and dad, so I don't have a soldering iron to do that. But that might be It'd be a job that I gotta do at some point. Oh god. I just realised as well, after you said it just started, that's gonna be a slog because so many methods to get Pokemon specifically aren't in the early games. Actually, I'm just realising, like, because before the eShop went down, I bought like every virtual console game. I can also do something similar. It might be cool to do. I didn't buy Pokeballs. I'm an idiot. Too distracted by thinking about doing the Professor Oak's challenge. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Because the fact that I've got all the versions is why I was thinking it might be slightly easier, because I've got red, blue and yellow. Which technically, I know you can't get them all in yellow. And I think what I was watching, you actually, hello Dragonite, you actually made a good choice starting on red, because between red and blue you can get all the Pokemon, but if you start on yellow you need red and blue still to complete the dex. Yeah, which I just think is ridiculous. I mean, it makes sense, but it's still kind of ridiculous that if you start on yellow you still need the 2 other games to finish it. But also the fact that you can't really, I mean, can you transfer down from the eShop games? Yeah. I mean, it'd be interesting to do them in tandem. That's definitely a lot more of like, oh, that's why I didn't buy Pokeballs, because I was selling things. It's definitely a lot more of like, I hate myself. It's like the Ultra Oaks challenge, or like, I guess you'd call it like a Grand Oak challenge. Would make sense. Like Grand Oak from Pokemon, I want to say Bank he was from, or he might be Pokemon Home, I don't know. But if you wanted to do like both games to get a complete dex, if you really just have too much time to kill, it might be interesting. Oh, really? What are the oaks? I mean, I'm trying to think of the other forms of oak, and the only one I can think of is Oak's Alolan cousin, but I can't actually remember what his name was. I'm just trying to think of like what that challenge would be if like completing it, like Oak's Dex challenge, but with both games. Because I think the only game you can't do that with is Arceus, because for obvious reasons it is one game, you can complete that dex. It's gonna annoy me now. Oh no, I don't want to use, oh my god, I have 300 Premier Balls. I have bought so many Pokeballs. Okay, I'm gonna look up Oak's cousin. See what his name is. Oak's cousin. I got it. Samson Oak. It's not even like a different name. I mean, I guess he's a very close relation to original Professor Oak. What time is it? Considering all the tech issues there at the start of the stream, usually it's only just hitting 2 hours at this point. Although I guess I am actually on schedule. I feel like there was something similar with an early... Oh, yeah, there was an early Sword and Shield glitch, I think it was. Where if you put Pokemon in from Pokemon Home, it wouldn't actually register or something. Yeah, that's the other fun thing of like Gen 1. If you have to keep track of all those glitches. Some of them are useful. Like the I want to say the badge stats or something. I forget what it's called. But essentially, if you have the badges, but you're not at full health or something. Oh, badge boost glitch. That's what it was called. Oh yeah, the Mew glitch as well. Keep track of that so you have the right trainers not battled. I think that might be the last thing I did in yellow on the virtual console was do the Mew glitch. But apparently you can't transfer that up afterwards unless you do a whole other glitch. Like overflowing and stuff like that. Because I'm assuming you just kind of found me through just browsing Twitch. But I've done like a whole live index and I kind of want to update it. So one of the things I want to do is go through all the virtual console games anyway. To get essentially a live index. Which will include Mew at some point. So they've all got the nice little the Game Boy logo when you throw them into home. And I'm obviously being lazy / smart, getting the Kanto for my shiny decks in the Let's Go games because you can actually see the shinies. Even though technically you can get the shinies in Gen 1 games if you have the right stats. But that seems like such a slog to get. But I do want to do it for one of them. Like, I might even do it for the Mew because I know there's a way you can specifically manipulate the Mew to be shiny when you transfer it up. And still have it be legit is the main thing. And I just realised I can see myself on my screen. So I can't actually see what my catch combo was at while I'm in the battle. Because at some point I have got work tomorrow. I'm going to have to hop off. What goal do I want to put at? Oh, I want to say I'm going to get to like 200. 200 is going to be my goal. And if I get to 200 without a shiny, then my own personal prediction on the stream would have been right. Because I was like, I'm not going to get a shiny this stream. Given how the other streams have went. Yeah. Remove the one and it was a sex number. The sex number, the funny number, whatever you want to call it. Just really hammering it home, man. To be fair, you will learn I am very special, to put it nicely. Is that where I'm gonna... You might have just put the nail in the coffin. That's where I'll end it. We're not getting to 200 just to full on blue balls some people without a nice round number. I'll let it get to 196. One, because it is the English Pokemon release year. Two, because it was also the year I was born. So it's a nice round number for me to stop at. Because it's always... Growing up, it's been nice knowing that I've been so invested in Pokemon that I was born the same year as. I was like, it's not coincidence, it was meant to be. Or it's just like Nintendo and Game Freak being great at brainwashing kids from a young age. That since I can literally remember some of my first like formed memories like very vividly as a kid. One of them was playing like Pokemon Yellow on a green Game Boy Color that was my brother's, and I just always robbed because I was clearly just a lot more into it than he was. Like, he still kind of gets it, but he's not fully into Pokemon nearly as much as I am. Like, he did not play past the first games, but he still kind of gets it. That is also because he can't get away with it. It's like, whether I'm playing it and talking about it, or it's his husband talking about it. Because when I first, like, met his husband, it was very like like, not met his husband when they were dating. Obviously they weren't married at that point, and I hadn't met him. Honestly, I think there's a video by, I want to say, Asteroid, who made like a custom ROM hack to try and get his mum to play Pokemon, but like with signs and everything to make it a lot easier for her. Like, search it up, it's an interesting watch. It sounds like you've already seen it. But yeah, when I first met my brother's husband, but boyfriend at the time, it was very like quiet, like trying to feel each other out sort of thing of like, what are you into? Are you good enough for my brother sort of thing? But then he just went to the bar to grab drinks at one point and came back, and he was like, I can't get away in Edgewise because we both figured out that we were into Pokemon and there was no stopping us at that point. I can imagine it can be a pain. It might be easier because I think Gen 3 is probably the most ROM hacked version of Pokemon. Because there are a lot of ROM words. Wow, I sounded like real slurry. And I swear I haven't Irished my coffee at all. There are a lot of ROM hacks for like Leaf Green and Emerald. So it might be better starting with them and moving on to Gen 1. Or just start with like Leaf Green, because technically that's still Gen 1. And also it'd be a bit more palatable to people who haven't played the early games and don't have like the nostalgia goggles on, because if you haven't got them, it is rough going back to some of those earlier games. Yeah, I mean, go with the stuff you know. It makes sense. Start with what you know and branch out. That's how you literally do anything in life. It's like me and my job now. It's like I started editing videos and then branched out to motion graphics, and then weirdly I went motion graphics to static graphics. It's like just started with what I knew and just went out from there. And sometimes you go backwards because you skipped over a step. But then it's a lot easier going backwards than it is to constantly move forwards as well. So, potato, potato. Yeah, unless you went the asteroid route of like including it in the sprites. Like the moves would act. Yeah, if you could mod them. Although like Gen 4 might be easier to do that with, because I don't know how customizable those boxes would be for like Gen 4. But you could put like what types are strong against what in the box. Unless you just straight want to rip off the asteroid one and just put it in the sprites. Honestly, that's one thing I want to look into is like ROM hacks. Just because, well, one, I could probably make some like interesting. I could make some interesting ROM hacks, really big headed in myself. Make some interesting like challenge sort of things for myself. It's like make videos and streams out of. Because so many challenges have been overdone at this point and like oversaturated on like YouTube and Twitch that you almost have to do custom stuff. And like super custom stuff, not just like this is the run I did on like a randomizer that no one else has done. Like there's only so many times you can do like randomizers and nuzlocke before you just kind of get tired of people telling the same story. Unless you're someone like Alpharado or that, who's just an amazing storyteller no matter what they're friggin' playing. They do get samey. And PokeTubers try their best, but there's only so many times you can spin it. I mean, if that's possible. To be fair, I don't know how much you can stretch it with ROM hacks. Because I feel like the Asteroid video, he was very much still learning it. But yeah, if you could put it like that, that seems even better. I might actually... It might be a decent stream, me learning ROM hacks. Because I could make a video out of it, but I could also like stream it and get help from people who actually know. Because it sounds like you actually know a bit about ROM hacking already. Is that ROM hacking for Gen 1 or is that the Gen 3 or 4 games? I'm curious. I'm imagining Gen 3 if it isn't Gen 1. Okay, Gen 1. So, if I do start doing my own, I'll start with Gen 1 just in the hopes that you pop in and you can help me a little bit. I just need to think of a really dumb idea that will take way too long and I'll hate myself by the end of it. And then I'll start learning how to do it because that'll be my motivation for some reason. Because as has been a weird theme, I just kind of hate myself, which is why I do crap like this. And spend 4 hours hunting a Bronzor and then extra, up to this point, 6.5 hours roughly hunting a shiny Diglett. Which I realise you don't know like the full thing of this. I'm redeeming shinies that I've kind of missed. Or like, missed, failed, or just not got over time. And I could think of like 3 off the top of my head. The first being a Bronzong that I got full odds in Pokemon Diamond. That I ended up losing that copy, so I lost the shiny. But I think that was like my first full odds shiny. And then I'm doing it now. There was Doug Trio that I was like half asleep grinding in X and Y. And just knocked it out because I thought the blue nose was a gender variance. Hated myself afterwards when I went through my decks and realised it was a shiny version. And the one that I just gave up on the hunt for, which was a shiny Nidoran, which technically I was going for Nidoking, so I'll see how that goes when I get to it. Yeah. Oh, I was wondering what the censorship was. Yeah, using GIMP. To be fair, the amount, like, I don't pay for my own Photoshop subscription because, thankfully, graphic designer for a living, so work pays for that license, and I just kind of use it in my spare time. But it is ridiculous how much it costs, and fair enough, it is a professional software that I'm just very used to using. GIMP is a good alternative if you need to use anything. Paint.net I've never actually used and I'm curious. But free alternatives to like most software have gotten really good in the last few years. Specifically for Adobe stuff. Because like I said, GIMP and I'm assuming Paint.net, really good alternatives to Photoshop. You've got DaVinci Resolve is a great alternative to Premiere Pro. I don't think anything's quite hit After Effects yet, at least that I've seen, like in terms of motion graphics. Although I think even like free solutions to After Effects doing like compositing and everything, still not amazing. You've still probably got DaVinci Resolve is the best for that. video wise. And we're almost at 190. I'm actually almost at like 6.5 hours. I'm just trying to think of any other software that I use, but it's mainly those. Live streaming, it used to be XSplit everything. Like, I think XSplit and like, I think OBS is Open Broadcaster. But yeah, the fact that you'd have to pay for a decent live streaming software, and now you just use OBS. OBS is great, and like for recording as well. So not just live streaming like and XSplit. Also, you don't have to pay for like, we're going back in a day of like fraps and all that type of thing. Like, oh my god, I haven't thought of fraps for ages. And there was X something for that as well, I think. But just like screen recording softwares that are paid, you just use OBS again to record. And technically, like, because it's a live streaming software, you don't even need to touch like an editing tool if you plan everything else. If you plan everything right and you can do it all in one take. Like, you tell little kid me who was trying to make this content like in my bedroom years ago, trying to make like little Minecraft videos, that all this stuff I wouldn't have to get like cracked keys and whatever software. I'd be like, nah, you need to use all like the official Adobe stuff, obviously. Using going back to like Adobe C. I think I started on CS4 just as it moved to CS5. And then last year of like secondary, doing my art GCSE, it moved to CS6. And then obviously after CS6, it then went to CC. I resisted the move to CC for so long. I don't know why. I think I just disliked the fact that, I mean, I still dislike the reason that I had kicked back to it. Like, I still stand by the reason, is what I mean. I didn't like the subscription model because I liked being the thought of like, oh well, at some point I can buy the one software and always have it. Which, yes, it was stupidly expensive for the software, but I still like that thought of like, buy the software once and you've got it. You can always download it and you just upgrade to the latest version if you ever do rebuy it. 194. And still no shinies. And this is going to be, thankfully it's on my second Switch, so I can still play other games. But it's going to be a hard one not to finish these hunts because I actually do like hunting in Let's Go. What are we on? 195. Next one, and I think I may be... Chansey isn't next. There's two there. I can't just leave one uncaught. It's gonna hurt my soul if I do. I think I'm gonna end it on 200. Because 196 would have been nice if that second one didn't spawn. I could have just hit the home button and been happy. Because 196, it's almost 1996. I mean, it just wants me to hit 200 at this point. Because these next two, 198, it just leaves me two more. And I can easily get two more. And it's more chances to see a shiny before the end of the stream, which I still don't think will happen. I just need to avoid hitting this Chansey. There we go. Chansey's just walking right over the Diglett, just stepping on its face. Poor little face and nose. could have ended it on 6333333. 198. 2 more. I feel like I'm just finding excuses to hunt more. But I know just to be a healthy, functioning person tomorrow while I'm in work, I do need to get off it sometime soon. Which is actually the time I usually finish streaming, is like 11ish. So I'm not doing bad. I don't know how it somehow ends up that I end streams at around 11. But if that's how it is, it's fine with me. One more and it's not shiny. Okay, I'm gonna stop myself, or I can 201 though. I really want to stop myself, but it's right there. The law is not gonna help me. I'm at 200. 201's a nice number, right? It's just this last one. I'm not addicted. Oh, there's one up at the top left. The stupid thing is, generally I don't have an addictive personality. But when it's just right there, and I know if I leave it and another one spawns, it's not going to be the best odds. And I know what I'm hunting. And that chance, he just full on teleported halfway across the screen. The back flick did not work. The front one had to compensate. Okay, as long as another one doesn't spawn, I'm good. I'm gonna hit save. So even if I break a chain, I'm still a high odds. And I'm gonna leave it paused. Okay. Good. I'm done. And I'm gonna end off the stream. Oh, and I also didn't pause the timer. There we go. Just so I've got reference of what it is. So I can have a look back on the stream and see what it is. That's where I know I've got to restart the timer. But yeah, we've got a good chain going. Next stream probably going to be a lot more of the same. Hopefully, I'm going to try and crack through with the alchemy edit. So maybe by the weekend I'll sort the tech issues. Hopefully, fingers crossed. And if I do, I might jump on for an extra stream just playing something different the other week, because I'll have more time and I probably want a break. But yeah. Otherwise, next stream will be... It'll be Wednesday, won't it? Wednesday, half-8 BST. Hunting more diglets. Hopefully get that. It'll be the second stream, so fingers crossed. But yeah. I will catch us all Wednesday. Bye.